All right, so let's get to this blog. So obviously the president of the Philippines, Bongbong Marcos, let's call him President Marcos, he had a vlog the other day on his channel, which has 2.7 million viewers. And this was on road rage as one topic, and then on the streamers, right? But the streaming was a prominent part of it. So this was obviously in the local language, in Tagalog. So I have a translation. Now we're going to talk about all this and analyze it. But I want to read the translation first so you guys can see this. And thank you to my lovely translators. I had more than one, but they pretty much confirmed this version of the translation. So thank you to my translators, right? So the president says, this guy's crazy. He's not Filipino anyway. Can I curse at him? I love that part. I love that part. The president goes on to say, one other thing we've seen this week is the infuriating things that a foreign vlogger has done to our countrymen. The president goes on to say, regardless of whether it's a prank or not, is there a Filipino whose blood will not boil upon what we have seen? So you've got to think about that. You've got to think about that. The president during Holy Week is saying, you are justified to have your blood boiling. It reminds me once again of Jesus in the temple with the money lenders, right? That's, kind of towards the end there. But overturning the tables, clearing out the temple. There is a time for righteous indignation. And what I'm hearing during Holy Week here is this is a time for righteous indignation. This is a time to understand there are certain things you are allowed to get mad at. And as a Filipino, and frankly, to be honest, even as a non-Filipino, I think it should enrage you to see people targeted and harassed like this, period. And it doesn't matter whether, I think it doesn't matter whether you're Filipino or not. We're all human beings, and we all deserve to be treated with a matter of respect. As long as we're respectful, we should be respectful back of people's cultures, laws, and just their person. And nobody deserves to have a stranger, particularly no elderly woman deserves to have a stranger from a foreign country who's looks like he's roided out or got something missing upstairs come up and yell that he's going to effing rob you. Nobody deserves that anywhere in the world, in any culture or any language. It's not acceptable. There's no place that's okay. Right? That's not a cultural thing. That's just not okay, period. So let's continue with the translation. He goes on to say, this is saddening. This is once again the president of the Philippines, Bongbong Marcos. As this has become part of social media, there are vloggers out there dedicated only to causing trouble, taunting people, becoming nuisances, and disrespecting others to gain views. Check this out. RKI screenshot at 3:05. No joke, guys. The president of the Philippines on his personal blog pulls up our boy, the one and only RKI. I've been telling you guys that these things are linked. I've been telling you guys that they know about this. This is a confirmation that at the highest level in the Philippines, they are linking Johnny Somali and Vitali and nuisance streamers in general. And let's go further here, guys. It's not just Johnny Somali. It is. Let's go further. It's the Japanese streamers as well. It's the Japanese streamers as well. So all those people that are going there as essentially terrorist streamers are ruining Japan. So they understand this is not limited. And look at this. Kick streamers denied access to ferry due to troublesome activities in the past. They're talking about Ice Poseidon. They're talking about the crew. The president of the Philippines has linked the nuisance streamers that were in Japan recently to Vitaly and Johnny Somali. I know a lot of people try to say this is me, and I'm like, I'm the only guy making this up. It's the president of the Philippines here, right? It's just you, legal mindset. No, it's a clear nexus with these folks. They come to these countries, like the president says, they taunt people and cause trouble to gain viewers. That's the definition of what is a nuisance streamer: causing trouble, taunting people, and disrespecting others to gain views. And they usually end up breaking laws. That's usually something that goes hand in hand with that, which means it needs a legal response. So they show Ramsey, Khalid Ismail, Johnny Somali, as well as other nuisance streamers. They bring up the crew, the IP crew that was in Japan, and lump them in there with Vitaly. So they said right here, we should not subscribe to that behavior. And I like the word subscribe, because the word subscribe is so true. The word subscribe both means subscribe on YouTube, right? We should not be subscribing to them. I completely agree with that. But beyond that, subscribe meaning follow, right? In more behavioral sense, right? And he says very clearly here, Filipinos do not behave like that and should not behave like that. And I think people should not behave like that. Trust that we, the Philippine government, the use of here, we as exclusive, that we will not let them, the nuisance streamers and vloggers, continue to do what they do. By the way, there was a quote from the Remula press con that says, the days when a foreigner can disrespect Filipinos are over. This shall serve as an example that we take our country seriously. So you're seeing that this is kind of mirrored here. The language from Remula is kind of mirrored by Marcos. Filipinos are inherently kind, respectful, humble, and incredibly patient. And by the way, I agree with all of that. That is incredibly true, which is exactly why it is very saddening to see these traits being abused and taken advantage of. It is natural for us to laugh it off. And I laugh a lot of things off too. I totally understand that, and not make a big deal of it, of this kind of disrespect. But this doesn't mean the government should let it slide. Yes. Even if you personally may say, well, if it happened to me, I wouldn't be that mad, but there's a problem. The government has to look out not just for one person that might think, well, okay, this one thing isn't that bad. Look at this market of nuisance streamers that are going to come to the country, do criminal things, harass people for money and profit, and say, we got to stop that. So that's why it gets to some of the best language here. And this line is the best. I love this one the most. We should fight back against the bullies. The government stands with you in putting these people in their proper place. Great. Absolutely 100% great. I mean, that's where it needs to be, right? They need to be put in their place. I love that language. The last time I heard "put in their place," it was a statement. I was like, "Oh, hold on now." But this is one case where I'm saying "put in their place" because they think they're above you. Remember, Johnny Somali and Vitaly both think they are above the countries they are in. Vitaly thinks that the Philippines is a joke. It's insane. And I love this last line. I hope this serves as a lesson to those who attempt to enter the Philippines solely to be menaces to Filipinos and mock them. This is meant to be a lesson that you don't come to the Philippines to mess around. Great message from the president. During Holy Week, not one place did it talk about forgiveness or patience or, that we need to, think about giving them extra special treatment because they're foreigners. That didn't come up even once.